Hey friends, this is Quiescent Current, and that's the fastest cable available on the market right now for USB-C, at least to my knowledge. And I know what you're thinking, it's kind of anticlimactic. It just looks like a regular cable. It doesn't feature any kind of nice braiding, it doesn't have a special kind of strain relief. On the connector, it's just the name of the company selling it printed on. So there's nothing on this cable that would say, yeah, I'm an expensive type of cable. And to be honest, it wasn't that expensive. So we can take a look at this connector and it says, yeah, it's an 8 gigabit cable at 240 watts maximum charging power. And nowadays they always also add the maximum display resolution, so 16K. But that's not officially supported by the USB standard because this kind of symbols are not officially USB labels anyway. So the cable in total looks just like a regular cable, and the only thing that we can find out about it is 1.2 meters, 240 watts, and 80 gigabits per second. So that is a top-notch cable, and it's made by a German company, or no, it's made in China. It's just imported by a German company into the European Union. That's why they have all these interesting labels on top. But nothing would already suspect that this is the finest cable I have right now in my home. And especially considering they put a lot of effort into the cable, but didn't even put on the correct label. So just so I can show you, I do have a real cable with the real markings here, and this one even looks better. So that's looking like a good cable, good strain relief, braiding, and what you can also see here, the official USB-C type logo. So this is how the cables should officially be labeled, and it even says this little TM as in trademark. So that's trademarked by the official USB IF, the foundation responsible for all these kind of things. And you know what's fun about this? The only cable I have featuring all those correct markings is the cable that's actually not compliant with USB-C, because it's just an extension cord, and extension cords are not allowed. But let's get this out of the way and take a look at the good cable. And the only thing we can do about this is test it, because it's an 80 gigabit per second cable, so that's 10 gigabyte per second data transmission, which means that the phone I'm recording this on right now would be full in about 6 seconds. So you could transmit an incredible amount of data in an incredible short amount of time, and I don't even have a device that can do that. So we're just going to test it with the cable tester and take a look at what the actual company behind this is, and what they put inside this cable, if it's an active or passive cable, or if it's just labeled wrongly, because honestly it was so cheap it could have been just a wrong kind of label. But no, it's not. It clearly states 80 gigabits per second data speed, 240 watts maximum charging power, 100% cable health. So the cable is mighty fine. And yeah, it does USB 1, 2, 3, 4, and alternate mode. And the voltages go up to 48 volts at 5 amps. So that's where the 240 watt rating is coming from. And all the pins are connected straight through. So the only pins that are not connected are the D plus and D minus from the top and the bottom here. That's due to backwards compatibility, so you can use USB-A to USB-C adapters and be able to plug in the USB-C end both ways around and still have USB 2.0 data transmission. So that's why in no cable on this earth all of them are going to be connected as long as it's compliant with the USB official specifications. Let's take a look. Yes, the pins that are connected are all of them, including the shield. So this cable is even shielded, which is more or less necessary. No, it's definitely necessary if you want to transmit 80 gigabits of data. If you just want to transmit the 480 megabits or 0.48 gigabits for USB 2, you normally can do without shield, but this is definitely a shielded kind of application. Yes, it can do all kinds of USB options, and the V-bus resistance is at 119 milliohms, which is kind of reasonable for a cable that it says 1.2 meters. That's probably correct. And let's take a look. It is a passive cable. They have an official vendor ID, so that's good. 2095. I'm definitely going to look that up on the app, because the app tells us what vendor is behind this vendor ID. 48 volts at 5 amps, and it is a USB 4 Gen 4 cable, so that's where the 80 gigabits are coming from, so they are labeling themselves correctly. Also inside the e-marker, that's included in the connector here, this little integrated circuit. And the cable, has a latency of 10 to 20 nanoseconds, around 2 meters, so it's above 1 meter and below 2, so reasonable. And it's actually not the first cable in this row, so they have the hardware ID 1 and the software ID, or the software revision 1, and they normally start as 0, so normally you start with 0, 0, and then depending on the hard and software updates, you continue from there. So this cable has been updated at least once. And now we are going to find out what the vendor ID 2095 is. So give me 1 second while I open up the app on the phone. And let's continue. So this was a wild ride. I know for you it was only like 2 or 3 seconds, but after opening up the app and taking a look at what it had to say, I found out that the vendor ID 2095 Hex actually is the company called CE Link Limited. And when I put that into Google, I found out that they're actually a professional OEM and ODM manufacturer. So that's one of the cables I've printed off their website. And it says they are professional OEM, so original equipment manufacturing company. And they are based out of Hong Kong. And you can buy all kinds of cables and power stations and extension cords and ATX power supplies for your computer from them, and then have them branded in whatever way you would like. And that's most certainly where this vendor got the cable from. So the one they had online for me to see is the USB 4 Gen 3 cable, and that's actually USB 4 Gen 4, what we found out earlier. But I'm quite sure that they just bought it. This German company, Gubei, it's called, bought it from them and then had it branded in their own custom 8 gigabits, 240 watts, and their logo on top. So that's really interesting, and that's something I didn't expect, that even the most common companies and the most popular companies doing cables are just buying them in bulk from an OEM manufacturer and then relabeling them with their own interesting logos and stuff. So that's what I have for you. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below. As always, please consider subscribing or even doing the YouTube Premium membership, because it helps developing and extracting more information from the cables and being able to buy more of them. Thanks.